Aloha and welcome to the Hawaii Vacation Podcast. I'm Bruce Fisher.
How's it going? I'm Lanai.
Thanks for tuning in. We're going to be talking about preparing for your Hawaii vacation, but it's kind of a two-parter, Lanai, today. We're going to be talking about first things you need to know before you arrive.
Yes.
And also like packing,
Very
how to
important,
pack for your Hawaii vacation.
That's a big question all the time.
That is a big question. Of course, this podcast is brought to you by the star advertiser Hawaii.com and Hawaii Aloha Travel. We're in Hawaii, Hawaii's experts, and you can catch us on the web at hawaii-aloha.com.
And make sure you stick around because we got a special coming up for you just for watching.
Yes. So
all right.
please stay tuned for that. Coming up here, we're going to give you a great deal.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about preparing for your Hawaii vacation, and let's start off with packing.
Yes.
Because that's the first thing that people ask about, packing for a Hawaii vacation.
I have two things. If you want to help the economy and you have money, then just bring your bikini, your favorite bikini that you like, some slippers, and one set of clothes.
Right.
And then go shopping.
I knew he was going to say that. So that's today's podcast.
Yeah,
it's over.
we're done.
We're done.
Yeah.
We're done. But there's a point to that.
But if you don't have money and you're on a budget
Yes.
and you want to wear those nice clothes that or those 10 bikinis that you bought, you haven't got to wear yet. Bikinis are number one, and swim trunks or whatever.
Absolutely.
Board shorts,
There's
what we
just
call them.
tons of things.
You need those. Slippers.
Slippers.
Yeah.
That's one.
I find out
T-shirts and shorts.
I find out that every 9 out of 10 guests that we have or I talk to always tell me, "Oh, I got to go buy slippers. I didn't bring any."
That's so true.
Like, why didn't you're coming to Hawaii? That's what we wear here. We wear slippers.
Yeah, let's.
So just so you know, for a night out at a good restaurant, we have our good slippers, which are probably leather. And then we have our rubber slippers for the rest of the day. So that's how much we get dressed up here.
That's right. And then you know what else you need? Is you need those reef walkers.
Yeah,
right?
if you're going to go walking on the reef.
You go walking on the reef, or just I think in any, when you're hiking and you're walking over, walking over rocks. Believe me, those reef walkers come in handy, and you can get them. They're not that expensive.
No, they're not.
But
you
remember,
can go to like a sports store.
We call them slippers.
Slippers, and then
slippers.
One of the things I want to mention too is people always say, "Oh, I'm going to Hawaii. I got to bring an aloha shirt." No, buy your aloha shirt here.
Yes.
And make sure you support one of the local companies. Don't go get it at, one of the chains. First of all, they're not authentic.
Right.
And they might seem, well, it's only $10. Well, you're going to look like $10. Go and get a local, authentic, because we have so many good designers that are over 100 years old here in Hawaii. From Ren Spooner to Iolani Sportswear to Kahala, which is over 100 years old. I mean, there's so many good ones. Jam's World. See, now he's worried.
What?
He's worried to see if he's wearing a local brand.
I got this at ABC, I think.
No, you didn't. Oh, yeah, maybe you did. But it doesn't look like it.
No, it's not. This is a good shirt, I think.
Yeah, you want to get a good quality aloha shirt.
Yeah.
And you don't want to match with the whole family.
Right, isn't that? You know what? You see that, and it's like right away, they're tourists.
Yeah,
we're not making fun of tourists.
No, I am.
But
you don't want. You don't want to be the person sticking out in the whole family's dressed the same print.
Yeah. In a Mustang convertible.
You're just. I mean.
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
I know. People do still do that, right?
They
Matching
do.
lays.
But do they do it intentionally? Is the question.
I think they do because I think either they're looking for good Insta pics, but people were doing that before Insta, right? I mean, they were dressing up.
I don't get that.
I don't get that whole thing. I don't know. It's nothing we do in Hawaii. People in Hawaii don't dress up the same.
I mean, you'll find like family photos. You'll get a family, but they're not using the cheap, cheesy stuff. Is my point. If you're gonna dress the family, in all the same pattern, you can mix up the colors.
Right.
You can keep the same pattern.
Right.
But use a local brand at least.
Right. And I think that there's no real dress code in Hawaii. And like you were saying, you might have nice slippers for going out. I do.
I got like 50 pair of slippers.
You got a lot of shoes.
I got a lot of shoes.
Always. I mean, it's like.
But to go back to the why the nice slippers and why the rubber slippers, we don't have too many restaurants. We only have one restaurant. You need a coat.
Yeah, and I don't even think they're making you do it anymore.
Yeah,
Michelle's.
They don't know. They don't do that anymore.
Oh,
the one in
Lamere.
Yeah, that's the only one I think you need a coat.
Oh, really? They don't make you do it.
So any 5-star restaurant, I mean, you're going to need a collar and you're going to need pants with some of the 5 stars. But everywhere else, pretty laid back.
I think it's called resort wear.
Resort wear, that's it.
Yeah, that's the term for it.
Yeah.
So enough about that. Some other little things. We talk about, sunglasses, little things like that. People don't generally wear sunglasses a lot of times on the mainland, but you might want to do that. And obviously, I say a hat. for people that are not in Hawaii and they come here for the first time, having a nice hat, having some way to protect yourself. I know that you're not a big fan for sunscreen, right?
No, I'm not. But you should if it's something you need to work, because sunburn is not a happy thing.
No, sunburn is not a happy thing.
Especially you can't go to sleep.
So you definitely want to think about bringing that. Here, let's go to our Facebook fans. They're dropping in some comments about things that they remember to bring.
What you got, Facebook?
Okay, so Facebook has got several of them. Okay, so let's see here.
Are these people who are coming to Hawaii, or
these are people that
making recommendations?
Well, we ask people what do you want to make sure that you pack for your Hawaii vacation.
Yeah, don't forget a toothbrush.
I know. Don't forget that toothbrush. Bathing suit, sundress, flip-flops, sunglasses, and waterproof camera.
We don't call them flip-flops, by the way. They're slippers.
I know. A waterproof camera?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, swimsuits, flip-flops. People call them flip-flops. Okay, here's another one. Honestly, I mostly pack a few things and just buy stuff at Walmart.
Good.
When you're here.
Well, maybe not the chain part is good, but support the local economy.
Bought a ticket for Fido, the service dog. Imagine bringing your dog to Hawaii. I guess it's a little bit easier now. And his Fido service dog actually brings him drinks at the beach, he says.
No way.
I don't know what he's talking about.
Put that on a video, please. Let's see that.
I want to see that.
Yeah.
Audie says a suitcase bigger enough to bring home lots of Hawaiian goodies.
That's a good one.
She's got it right.
So I always tell people, if you don't want to bring 2 suitcases, you can bring a duffel bag rolled up in your suitcase, which probably makes it easier for you when it comes to paying for suitcases.
Yeah.
If you're not the elite member or whatever. Because you got to pay for luggage, right?
You got to pay
But
for
if you bring a
luggage.
rolled up one, at least you're not paying it for coming here.
Right.
You fill it up going home, then that's better.
I know something just popped into my head. Something that I always seem to forget more than once is the right cords for my phone. How many times have you just left the wrong charger
Every
for
other
your phone?
trip, I leave a cord in a hotel.
Or leave them at the hotel.
Yeah, you know what I did the last time I went to a hotel? I said, "Do you guys have a lost and found?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I lost a hotel cord." So they're like, "You lost a what?" And I said, "I lost a hotel cords. I mean, phone cords."
Phone codes, yeah.
And they said, "Cords?" And I go, "Yeah, like a 3 or 4 of them." Because they had boxes. They had a box of them.
Oh my God!
So I took a bunch.
Oh, you took. I missed that for a second. I finally got what you're talking about. Okay, so you're stealing cords. Okay,
no, I didn't steal.
Okay,
people left them. They must have not wanted them. They weren't important to them.
There you go. Lots of kala. Everything costs so much.
Money.
Money. Yeah, you got to bring money. That's true. Sunscreen, short tops, swimsuits. Here goes the flip-flops again. I haven't heard that in a while.
Well, I think we should make a
Mainland
comment on
people.
there and know you guys are using the wrong term, first of all.
You got to use
Get the Pigeon app.
slippers. Get the Pigeon app. Sunglasses, comfy walking shoes. That's true. Sometimes you don't bring enough walking shoes.
Any trip you go in life, you should bring good walking shoes.
Yeah. Speaking about that, what about hiking shoes?
Hiking shoes too.
Whether sneakers or sandals, and depending on how much hiking you're going to do, you want to definitely bring that. If you go up into the higher elevations, another thing to remember is to bring something warm. I know that's hard to believe, but a sweater, windbreaker, even if you're going to be going out on the boat here off of Waikiki.
If you're going on a boat, for sure.
Yeah, bring a windbreaker. You don't have to bring it out. But what I want to stress, and I think what you're also pointing to, is don't overplan this. I don't want people to stress over these kinds of things. And that's why I'm bringing them up, just little things to remember, because you're going to have to remember. And I just say don't overdo it. Don't overthink this whole thing. For water sports and going to the beach, make sure you think safety in mind. Make sure that you have a safety bag, and also make sure you don't put any valuables.
We're talking about a water bag.
Yeah,
so
like
we have a
one of
lot
those
of water
bags.
backpacks you can roll up. Things don't get wet, kind of deal.
Keeps them dry. Your cash dry. Your keys.
I also don't know. Other people do this. Might be weird, but I keep Ziploc bags with me, like 3 or 4 of them. Because I'll put wet clothes in it or whatever, but I also use it for my cell phone.
Oh,
it's
smart.
worked.
Yeah.
Like if it's raining one day, I bring the Ziploc. If I'm traveling,
I see.
When I go to Japan, I bring a Ziploc bag.
Nice.
And to put
That's
my
smart.
cell phone in it.
Yeah, and it's cheap. And it keeps everything dry. Okay, let's talk about our deal of the week.
Yeah, we got a good one.
Right.
You can receive up to $200 off your next Hawaii vacation. This deal includes $100 activity credit, which you can use for any activity in our selection of excursions that we have here, and up to $100 on any vacation package booked, valued at $1,500 or more. And it's a good deal. Just go to our website, visit it, Hawaii-Aloha/ That's .com/promo. Hawaii-aloha.com/promo for more information. Use the promo code #it's Hawaii.
Yes.
All right, that's the deal. Check it out.
And some of these activities that we have are awesome. Your food tour is on there. That's one of they get the discount on that one.
Yeah.
Our Hawaii 5-0 tour, if they want to do that. Our Circle Island or Half Circle Island tours, and also a plethora of other activities that you can get. And that $100 credit it's a real $100.
All private. All private too.
Yeah. So check that out.
Definitely. And you don't have to go sit through a timeshare. A timeshare.
Yeah, to get the free thing. I know.
Don't you love those?
All right, let's continue our theme here, and let's talk about what you need to do before you leave home.
Okay.
You're getting ready to go on your vacation. What do you need to do? What's the first thing you would think somebody needs to do? I know what my first thing is.
Turn off the stove. All right. If you have an iron on, turn off the iron. Any of those type of items in your house, turn them off.
Turn them off.
Yeah. That's the first thing.
I know, and I would say my first thing is
lock the windows.
I go lock the windows. Yeah. Right. Exactly. Make sure everything is in the safe.
I actually don't do that anymore. I tell my neighbor that I'm leaving. And I have those lights that go on at night.
Right.
So people think that I'm home.
And you know what? You're onto something here. Don't announce on social media that you're leaving.
Yeah.
That's how people get robbed.
Yeah.
You don't have to tell people what time you're leaving and when you're leaving. I used to do that. I used to say the minute I'm leaving, I would go wheels up on my, when I'm on the plane, wheels up, wheels down, and every little incident is no, don't do that. So, but you need to get prepared. You need to think of some things. The first thing I say you should do is set your watch to Hawaii time.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's a very good one.
Because I think what that does is right away it gets you, first of all, on our time, and helps with the jet lag. Because a lot of people, I think a lot of jet lag is psychology. I know you travel a lot, but when you didn't travel a lot, did you ever get jet lag?
I did. I had it twice really bad, and I figured it out. What I did was I stayed on schedule of wherever I'm landing. So, for example, if I catch the red eye, which I hate because it's hard to stay on schedule because I can't sleep on a plane, and I land at 5 in the morning, I make sure that if I get into the hotel by 6:30 or 7, I'll take a nap, but I will not sleep past noon.
I see.
If I'm traveling 6 hours, Japan, Asia, or what have you, and say you land at 9 o'clock in the morning, you do not take a nap.
You do not
go to sleep or take a nap until it gets dark. Same with coming home. Because a lot of our trips, when you come home, you can come back in the morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Because it's behind.
Most of the time you're not coming back the same day. You're coming back the next day.
So
you lose time going back.
Yeah. So Japan, you come home at 10 o'clock in the morning. You cannot take a nap, and you cannot go to sleep until it's dark.
Right.
As soon as it's 8 o'clock, go to sleep.
Yeah. So it goes back to keeping your circadian rhythms in line with what time it is wherever you're going.
Correct.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
You were talking about that. Really organize with a friend or neighbor. Somebody to pick up your mail while you're away. Some of these basic things that you may forget.
One of the biggest things for me when I travel is if you're coming to Hawaii, I print out all my vouchers, even though you don't need it anymore.
And
I print them out and leave it in my backpack. So I print out my hotel, my airline ticket. If there's an excursion, I print that out. Because when you check into a hotel, they go, okay, what's your confirmation number? And you're, I don't know. Just give them the paper.
Yeah.
And then you're checked in.
And especially now, you need a lot more paperwork to come into Hawaii. So make sure you have your barcode printed out. Even though you don't need the barcode printed out, it's good to print out your barcode, print out all your paperwork for your testing.
I print
for everything.
Yeah,
print it out and have it. And I would leave a copy behind. The other thing that, the thing called the United States Postal Service?
Yes.
They actually will hold your mail.
Yes.
So, because
one of the things, you
can just let them know and they'll hold their mail for you. Make sure that you kind of mentioned this at the front, make sure you turn off unnecessary things. I don't think it's really that much of a joke to remember to turn off the stove, but turn off the appliances.
Going back to the printing out the thing, the reason why I did it was I went and had a reservation. You know how you book on these apps Open Table.
Yeah.
And in Japan, the restaurants are small, right? In Hawaii, we have small restaurants too. So if you book on that thing, what happened was when I got there, it wasn't in the reservation. Oh. But then I had it printed.
Yeah.
And they had to honor it.
Yeah.
So it's like a backup.
This electronics doesn't always work.
No, it doesn't.
Sometimes there's glitches in it, I can tell you, Pets is another thing. This is one thing that's kept us from traveling is that we haven't been able to leave our pets behind. You can't. Generally, I would never really recommend people bring their pets to Hawaii, even though you can bring them now. It's just a pain in the butt.
That's why I don't have any pets.
Yeah, but make sure you have a checklist and make sure that you leave all that behind. To somebody that's responsible for that.
Checklist is good for everything, I think.
Yeah. The other thing is you could freeze your accounts. Your online accounts.
That's a good one to. Don't forget to turn on your card in another.
That's right.
If you're coming from another country,
yes,
you need to let them know you're going into another country and you're going to use your credit card because they'll cut it.
Same with
security,
Hawaii all the time, and especially for a lot of you, this is a vacation you haven't taken in a long time. You should call your credit card company, let them know you're coming to Hawaii, or this is just standard when you're taking a vacation now to let them know, because otherwise everything starts to get declined. You start to get declined. So very important to think about that. Call your bank and credit card company. Another one is to charge all your electronic devices before you leave.
Yes, it's a good one.
Although
a lot of planes have,
they do,
so you can charge too.
But it's always good to have that, and also make sure that you download your favorite media that you're going to do, because sometimes trying to download it at the airport becomes a hassle. That's what happened to me last time.
Yeah,
I forgot to do it. I was at the airport trying to download my favorite podcasts and other things.
Well, Pornhub.com is hard to download it at an international airport.
Very true.
I heard. I don't know.
I wouldn't know anything about that. And another thing is call. There's a thing still called the telephone.
Yeah.
And I think today people are hesitant to pick up the phone and call.
Isn't it funny how you text people now and go, hey, can I call you? Or when's a good time to call you?
Yeah.
Before we just called.
I know.
And if you were busy, you didn't answer.
I know. But
I'm starting to call more.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. I like to hear from you. I'm not crazy about texting. I even tell people, look, don't text me, call me, because I won't get... People think that you're completely glued to your phone. It is close by, but not always do I have the volume up is my problem, because I don't want to be disturbed while I'm working, so I never see the darn things, and people expect you to know. But I'm talking about verifying your reservations, calling. Yes. That's why here at Hawaii Aloha Travel, we're manned with humans.
I think that's probably the number one thing to do, because I have showed up at the airport a day before and a day after.
Yep.
And you know why? Because if I've traveled over the international date line, and they're a day ahead or they're a day after, your calendar jumps onto that wherever you're at.
Wherever you're at. Yeah.
So if I book something, the date is wrong when I'm looking, if I'm in another country. I've done that at least 5 times.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I have to pay for a new airline ticket.
And a phone call might have avoided all this stuff. Especially with the hotels. Especially make sure even my customers, I'm taking care of all of these reservations for you. I still make sure you have an emergency number to call. Yeah. Make sure that you have the hotel number to call. Make sure that all of your requests are put in there, because a lot of people get to the hotel and they're supposed to have 1 king and they have 2 double beds. That kind of thing. You don't want that to happen. So hopefully that helps you out. Those are some ideas. There you go.
We're expert travelers.
That's it. So make sure that you take heed for some of these things if you're planning your Hawaii vacation. All right, that's going to do it. That's going to wrap it up. Thanks for tuning out. And for all of us here at Hawaii Aloha Travel, I'll say aloha and mahalo.
Ahui ho. Look at that view. Beautiful, huh? We'll see you in Hawaii.